Christopher Cantwell, Dale Eaglesham, and Jen Bazaldua begin an exciting new Captain America adventure when Steve Rogers is attacked and his shield is taken by a superpowered being dressed like Captain America, causing Steve to team with the Falcon and the Captain America of the Railways to stop the villain. Christopher Cantwell opens his exciting new Captain America storyline with a great mix of action and character drama, diving into the mind of Steve Rogers and how in recent years he's becoming unsure of himself as a symbol of a nation, and a people who have all but used and abused him as this symbol. I did enjoy Christopher giving Steve this route to go down. He did something similar with Iron Man recently, and I can see how this act is going to play out for Steve, with him kind of refinding his hope through the many different Captain Americas he and Sam will meet, one of which gets introduced here. I enjoyed meeting Aaron Fisher for the first time this issue and also getting his origin in the backup, and again, I love that it's just some kid who just wants to help and do the right thing, perfectly embodying the core beliefs of Steve Rogers and Sam Wilson. Dale Eaglesham and Jan Bazaldua share art duties, with Dale being no stranger to Captain America, a character he draws extremely well, and he has a great style for the character, invoking a lot of the classic Golden Age versions of Cap. Jan helps build up Aaron Fisher's origin and the big reveal of his Captain America costume, which is really makeshift and is really great, and I like that it uses engineering overalls and a belt as an actual costume, since these are things he would actually find riding around on freight trains. The United States of Captain America issue 1 was a fantastic beginning to Steve's newest adventure, exploring some interesting feelings the character has on his symbol in present day America and the world, and how he is being used in certain ways. The introduction of a new Captain America was a lot of fun and invokes a lot of the core beliefs of the captains before him for an exciting action adventure. I'm going to give this issue a 10 out of 10.
The United States of Captain America issue 1 finds Steve Rogers remembering himself saying that he's loyal to nothing but the American dream, but he knew that that dream isn't real, since when he wakes up, it goes away and they are left with the yearning for what was taken. He knows that's the one kind of dream, but lately he's been spending his days in the country he's beginning to think is an America of two dreams and one lie. Boiling some water and getting his cleaning supplies out in preparation for cleaning his shield, Steve knows the first American dream is not real, and it's the one people expect to just be handed to them, get angry when it disappears. But the truth is, it never existed. He remembers the German word for nostalgia, for a place that no one has ever been to, or a place that might not even exist, but he knows that they have a word for that too, and it's called Americana. As he cleans the shield, Steve knows the dream was never real, since it doesn't get along with their reality or other cultures or immigrants or poor and the suffering, and the white picket fence becomes a gate to keep them out, but they are at their best when they try and keep no one out. He knows a good dream is shared with everyone, and when it isn't, it becomes the American lie. Steve knows that the lie is the real problem because it's an empty promise, remembering him not long ago telling the people to come there for a better life, but instead they would get a raw deal. And then there is the second real dream that they reach for and work for and toil for and fight for, and while they never might reach it, they never stop trying. Steve knows that this is the dream, and the Smithsonian is putting an exhibit on about Americans who fight, but he doesn't like that name, since sometimes they fight when they feel like they could handle things another way. He knows there are Americans who fought, but also who reached and laid themselves bare and did it without shields or serums or metal suits. He thinks about the museum wanting to put his real shield on display, knowing that it would mean more to people. But unlike other people who have reached selfless clarity, Steve finds himself stripped of what he is meant to stand for. Steve knows that he is just repurposed for people's agendas. He's an easy target when things in the country get bad, and sometimes everything just seems so ridiculous to him. He wonders if he has caused more divide than uniting people, since the shield can be something to hide behind, and wonders if he's been hiding behind it too. Steve is suddenly attacked by a man dressed like Captain America, who beats Steve down and knocks him out with his own shield. Awakening soon after, Steve finds the shield missing, contacting Sam to get into the airspace above Brooklyn ASAP. The Falcon, meanwhile, doesn't know what he's meant to be looking for, but Steve says the guy moved really fast and he couldn't even lay a hand on him. He tells Sam that the man is dressed like Captain America, but Sam doesn't know if he means in his uniform or just like a 90s J. Crew ad. Soon Sam spots the man moving very fast through a part of the town as Steve suits up and goes out on his motorbike. Sam says whomever this guy is, he's heading towards the Hellgate Bridge with a freight train approaching from the other side. Sam pursues the man, but he's too fast as Steve arrives at the bridge, spotting the man climbing up the wall and giving chase to him. Steve tells the man to stop as he throws the shield at the train, blowing up its engine before speeding away. Steve tells Sam to head him off, but Falcon knows they've got another problem as another train is incoming down the other side of the track and the freight train wreck is blocking the tracks. Sam says he can't push 200 tons out of the way, so Steve races at the oncoming train, leaping onto the cabin and telling the conductor to brake. The man does so as Sam swoops in and saves them from the explosion. Steve races towards the carts, telling the people who can hear him that they need to stay calm as he helps them move out of the wreckage. Soon he spots someone in the darkness with a shield and gives chase, tackling him as he demands to know why he's using his shield to do something like this. Sam tells him to stop since that's not the thief, as he finds it's just a kid dressed like Captain America. Steve demands to know who he is, learning the kid calls himself Captain America, but Steve thinks that a joke like that will get his teeth broken. The boy says his name is Aaron Fisher, but Steve wants to know what his deal is and what it is with the costume and shield. Aaron says that he just rides the rails with his boyfriend, but they broke up and he stayed in Missouri. He apologizes since he begins rambling when he's nervous. Steve demands to know why he's dressed like Captain America, so the boy says that there are a lot of cool people on the rails and they're like one big family, but there are also some really bad people on the rails and he takes care of folks like that. Sam thinks that he's just some Woody Guthrie Captain America, making Aaron excited to meet the former Captain America as well. He says that Sam fights for everyone and he wants to be like that as well. And Sam and Steve appreciate it, asking him to help them get the people to safety. Aaron says that there are more captains out there as well in more places that Steve can think of. Steve, however, spots a sniper laser on the young man, quickly tackling him out of the way as Sam spots the female sniper up on the bridge. Steve whips Aaron's makeshift shield at the assassin, but she manages to escape into the water below. The heroes know that the kid was her target, but Aaron knows that he's just some kid on a train. Sam says he's not, he's Captain America, as Steve asks about the other captains. Aaron knows they aren't some super team, just some people, and they don't really know one another, but they are all over the country. The next day, Sam finds Aaron skipped out on Steve after getting medical attention that night. Sam knows that there are a total of 5 caps they encountered last night. He's counting himself as 2 since he's worth at least that. Steve says they have a superhuman pretending to be him and causing havoc with his shield, and they have an underground network of Captain Americas as well as an unknown female assassin who almost killed one of the captains. Steve thinks that the woman is targeting the whole network, so they have to find these people. Sam asks about the cap they fought, but Steve says that he's just trying to sully the shield and cripple what it stands for. Sam thinks that both of them outnumber this villain 50-1, mostly because Sam is counting himself 59 times, so Steve thinks maybe they should go after him. Sam wants him to cut to the part where he says to suit up, since he's already in. Steve knows that he needs a shield, and lucky, Sam has an extra as the friends shake hands, getting ready to hunt down Captain America. Sometime before, Aaron Fisher goes to see the cosmic cubes with his friends, knowing his life has been hard as a wanderer, but he's seen lots of interesting places and met lots of interesting guys, and sometimes he gets to help people. At the homeless encampment, one of his old friends gives him a bit of advice, since there are kids like him missing all over the city, kids with nowhere to go and no one on their side. Aaron knows he was abandoned, so he knows what it's like, and while it was a long shot, maybe he could find them and look out for them in a way that no one did for him, since after all, that's what Captain America would do. Aaron begins looking around the city, finding the downtown camp has been deserted. Asking around town, he finds a woman knows that Roxxon cleared out the downtown camp weeks ago in order to build the new stadium for the city, and to get rid of people like them. The woman says that everyone pretends like they don't exist, but Aaron says that he'll figure out what happened. That night, Aaron breaks into the Roxxon construction site, remembering that the mayor bragged about removing the homeless, but Aaron knows he was the only one who cared about where they were going.
Sneaking past the armed guards, he heads to the site office where he hears something about a desert site and how someone wants to gather up more homeless for it. Aaron is suddenly smashed on the back of the head by one of the guards, later awakening next to another guy who knows that Aaron got hit on the head pretty good, knowing he must have put up a fight. The man introduces himself as Adrian, as Aaron says that he came to help them, but Adrian wonders how he's going to do that as he learns that they are in the desert camp that Roxxon shifted all of the homeless people to build the stadium, leaving them there to rot. Adrian knows that it's hard to believe that they're just a few miles from the highway and they are forced to work in the Roxxon facility there, and some of them have been there for months with no hope of a future, but all they need is for someone to give them a chance to get out. Aaron knows that Roxxon cannot be allowed to do what they want, and while he's been on his own for a long time, he hasn't given up and he won't let them do this, so they need to stand up for themselves and show them that they aren't afraid. Adrian wonders how they will do that, so later on Aaron makes and paints up a Captain America shield as he remembers how he grew up looking for signs that he belonged in the world, and it took time, but he found them in extraordinary people united in fighting for a common cause, people like friends and lovers and teachers and activists and heroes. He always wondered when the time came, what would he do, and on that night he found out. Aaron, dressed as Captain America, attacks the Roxxon soldiers, beating them down with his makeshift shield, as he notes how everything felt so different when he picked it up, like he had become more than himself and become a symbol to those he was protecting, and a legacy to those who fought before him, and a promise of hope for the future. Later on, Aaron and his newfound love Adrian ride the train out of the city, where Aaron knows when he's lucky, he gets to help people, and he didn't come from much, and he has nowhere to go back to, but he can go forward, and he doesn't have to do it alone.